PTV, oberoende, piratistisk media, skapad och finansierad av tittarna.
And there we go. Boom. Boom. All of a sudden, we're loaded in. Hopefully, with audio. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And everything working.
Should be working. Let's fear the chat, people.
Yes. Frukt. Frukt in
Fruits in chat.
Fruits in the chat, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful.
Our honorary fruiter.
Yeah, our own top fruit.
Yeah, top fruiter.
Oh God, yeah, that works in Swedish. It kind of works in English, but in a completely different way.
Yeah, it's more of a fruit cake thing than.
Yeah, it means different stuff. Thank you so much, by the way, for the like, Tim Rude the First.
Yeah.
From Facebook, we actually got notifications from everywhere right now, which is beautiful. It's all connected now. It's all connected. I would recommend you though to watch our stream on Twitch, because it's better. It's just better. It's just better.
Yeah.
Ebenezer is a fructis. Well, beautiful. So, what's gonna happen today, Otto?
Yeah, we had booked Bob, Patrick, the German MEP.
Oh.
Yeah, but he had some emergency meeting, so he rescheduled till next week.
Okay.
So since he cancelled, we decided to cancel Turkey.
Yeah, we canceled Turkey instead. I mean,
because we scoured the net of other things to talk about, and everybody's speaking about Turkey, and we're fucking fed up with Turkey. We want some fucking chicken.
Yeah, it's time to cancel. Cancel this stuff. No, but that actually sucks. That sucks. We got so many cancels today. I mean, I think we're the ones who got cancelled. We had 2 guests cancel on us 2 days in a row.
Yeah, yesterday as well. But they both had valid reasons.
Yeah, but I don't care. God damn it. I think we have to double book guests instead. And then be like,
we'll start.
No, that's how you know. Like, you'll be like, we're so sorry. We just got this guest. And they'll be like, oh my God, they got that guest? You know? As long as you just pick like one guest that's a little bit more... You always pick the one that is a little bit more
You're
famous,
starting to
right?
sound like Oprah or what's her name? The one that was so mean to her employees, Ellen.
Well,
Go food. You kind of look like Ellen, by the way.
That's true. I mean, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to understand why you would do that. You know, makes sense. Makes sense. No, but we actually have a lot of news. A lot of it is about Turkey, but some news is about the moon.
Yeah, you started in the complete wrong direction for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do it anyway. Because we have a moon rising. 8 nations signed Lunar Pact Settlement Exploration Pact. And basically, yeah, I didn't really understand the pact, to be honest. Did you?
Well, it sounds like this. So 8 countries have signed an international pact for moon exploration called the Artemis Records. This is on NASA.
The Artemis Accord.
Accords. Yeah. NASA announced on Tuesday a win for the U.S. Space Agency, right? It's supposed to make safety zones. I guess this is kind of similar to peacekeeping efforts that would surround...
Basically, they have already cut up the moon.
Essentially, it sounds to me like you're kind of deciding a little bit who supports to cut up the rule. And by allowing... But the big thing here is allowing private companies to own the lunar resources they mine. So you could say it's a free trade agreement that allows us to mine the moon and ship it back. And private companies to own any resources that they would mine. Right? So it's basically privatization of the moon. This is what we're talking about here, as far as I can understand of this little article. I mean, you got to kind of probably read it to understand it. But the United States, Australia, Canada, Japan, Luxembourg, Italy, the United Kingdom, and the United Arab Emirates. So you could say, yeah, I don't really know, a semi-Western sphere. The US is working to cultivate allies for its plan to return astronauts to the moon by 2024. We're operationalizing the Outer Space Treaty for the purpose of creating the broadest, most inclusive, largest coalition of human spaceflight in the history of humankind. So, yeah. I mean, look, the one of the issues here is that there has been some generalized, ideas that you're not really supposed to be able to own the outer space in that sort of way. But since we're getting closer to the fact that and I mean, space is becoming militarized, and I mean, U.S. has been pretty clear on that they want to have a space force and militarized space. This is, I guess, just another step in taking our proxy Earth wars into the outer space. It's not a lot of people who can afford to go to the moon, and it may be USA that puts it all on the. I'm not sure, really. I mean, for all the money that we currently spend on using our own resources, I mean, US is not looking that favorable because it's still a couple of years away, right? So we'll see what happens. I mean, look at it this way: the NASA program expected to cost tens of billions of dollars will send robotic rovers to the surface of the moon before an eventual human landing. So I mean, what we're looking at here, realistically, in going to the moon and having a first kind of setting up the first base there, I mean, tens of billions of dollars. You got to remember that the U.S. has printed somewhere in the vicinity of $7 trillion to keep its financials going, and I mean, EU is not a lot better. So in reality, we're still spending a little on it. But now, given that we want to wage kind of war or conflict in it, or you're starting to see a direct economical impact or benefit of it that you want to divide, it could be more, right? And maybe it's going to happen fast. But I'm not sure, really, who has the pockets or who's going to. But obviously, if U.S. would spend more on it and do it, then other countries would probably do too. That can match them. But we'll see what happens. I mean.
Did you read the last line? The plans of building the lunar gateway.
Yeah, NASA also plans to build a lunar gateway, a space station orbiting the moon. Plans call for it to be constructed by a mix of NASA contractors and international partners.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty worried that they're starting to cut up the moon, but in some sense it had to happen, and I, for one, is looking forward to the human race leaving Earth.
I mean, it's super important, and to be fair, if we can start mining asteroids, that's massive for us. I mean, that means a lot to the human race as a whole. Maybe we could stop destroying the Earth. I mean, there is so much positive things, to do about it. Unfortunately, though, I mean, a lot of what we're doing right now is this sort of constant, super capitalist and neo military warfare kind of standoff. And I'm happy if that drives innovation in a good way, but the problem is that it typically just reinforces. The people who are gonna win on this aren't the people that need it. And we're furthering the divide, between people. So,
but on just the war part itself, I think that space battles will be less occurring, more frequent than battles on Earth, because on Earth, if you find, for an example, a gas pocket, the gas pocket is there, and there is no other gas pockets. If you find a gas giant in space that you want to mine, there is other gas giants. So it's not the same necessity to have that exact gas giant. You could find another.
Yeah. The moon is to compare to the Antarctic. Yeah, I mean, I think it's currently that's kind of a fair comparison, really. It's like there's probably shit there. It's a little bit expensive. We want to kind of further our everyone is saying this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. I mean, but realistically, as we know, laws are made by the biggest guns. I mean, that's just how it is. That's how we have arranged our society. currently. And I think all space trash will destroy our future in space. I honestly think the space trash isn't such a big deal. It's quite easy to destroy if you really wanted to. But yeah, I mean, it's messy. Yeah, it's gonna get messy. One thing I am a little bit worried about, though, is that mining the moon has to be done with extreme carefulness. You know, the moon is receding from Earth, not super fast, not super slow, but you gotta, you know, I don't think we can take that much from it. I hope not, but you kind of got to be a little bit careful what you do there. I will see what happens.
The thing is that I was just wondering about that exact thing. What would happen if we would mine the complete moon? I mean, just mine it all.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very good for us. I mean, the moon is incredibly important for us.
Yeah, the tides.
Yeah.
I mean, we need the gravity for the tides.
Not only that, the moon affects our core. You know, it's probably one of the things that keeps the Earth dynamo rolling and make sure that the Earth's core doesn't cool down. You know, which creates our magnetic field. Which, if it's lost, you know, we are Mars.
We're really fucked in a complete different level.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I hope it's going to be done with care, but you know, for all that I can say about how we treat our own Earth, if it's worth enough, you know, who cares about that, right? And this is my greatest current fear is that we are rushing into this as a super capitalistic neo-war kind of state without really considering, without any real unity. Just some form of idea that we're going to compete with the other states and we're going to be able. I mean, China just released its low Earth orbit anti-missiles, right? The reality is space is an important place to wage warfare currently. You know, like all the satellites are up there that, controls all the communication on ground and can target your missiles and all of that stuff. I have a feeling that we're starting to go in for it for purely profit motives and purely war motives, as competing with each other over superficial nationalistic issues. So this is my worry. I mean, I'm positive that things are being done, but I think the reasons we're doing it is to be questioned pretty sharply right now. I don't think we are not worthy yet. But yeah.
Man. They are not worthy of entering into space.
Maybe the aliens that are in our outer solar systems will be like, stop! You are not ready. Stay on your planet.
To mine without a natural source of water. There are so many ways. Dynamite, for an example.
Well, I can't remember, but you can probably search. I think there is ice in the moon, for instance. So you expect to be able to have bases, particularly around the northern. I think it's I can't really. I don't really know, but around the caps of the moon, there is frozen, expected to be underwater ice or under under hidden ice, and even ice in the craters and stuff like that. So they think they have most of the stuff. God kväll. Good evening, Mas. Well, next news.
Yeah.
Take this one.
Norway. I know where we are, Norway. Yeah, that was pretty insane. I hadn't had an idea until I read it just today.
Okay.
Norway has been cyber attacked by Russia. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Norwegian Parliament says it came under cyber attack in August, and email accounts of many politicians were hacked. Russia was behind a cyber attack launched against Norwegian Parliament in August, targeting the email system of the country's parliament. On September the 1st, the Norwegian Parliament said it had sustained a cyber attack during the previous week, and that the email accounts of several politicians and employees had been hacked. Why are they repeating themselves so much in this article? This is weird. Well, they have a quote from the Ine Eriksen Søreide, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Based on the information available to the government, it is our assessment that Russia stood behind this activity. How would you decide that? I mean, it could, for an example, it could be somebody else just operating through Russia.
Yeah. I mean, look. I would say normally when you accuse another country, either you have pretty good evidence, or you are just doing it because of geopolitical reasons, right? I mean, the problem is that no one releases the evidence, right? I mean, it's kind of the same stuff as like, I mean, take when New York Times released Donald Trump's tax returns. They don't actually release them. They don't publish them, right? They just publish what they think, what the articles about it. And I mean, this is kind of I mean, I know what Secret Services doesn't do it because they don't want to. They don't want to, let Russia understand how they got the information. But I generally think that you can remove that out of it. I mean, WikiLeaks, for instance, have done sometimes a little bit halting work of doing that. But I mean, there are many ways of doing that and make sure that you can't really trace or understand how it was leaked, right? But that's the general reason why you wouldn't publish this. But it also makes all of this news, without the source where you can let people find out, how they got this and in what way and in what capacity. Either you trust Norway, or you don't, right?
But like the article says at the end, the two countries which share a common border in the Arctic have generally enjoyed good relationships. This was my picture of it all. But those have become strained since the Russian annexation of the Crimean Peninsula in 2014. I had no idea Norway was that vivid about.
I mean, the whole EU is not super happy about another country taking a large part of a country like that with false flags operate. I mean, it was a big deal. It still is a big deal, and it's still kind of a proxy war going on there, right? Not really a proxy war, but low intensity conflicts. But I mean, to my knowledge, they have been arguing about the Arctic for ages, and that has just escalated. By the way, I mean the Northern Sea, where tons of dead fish and dead sea animals have started appearing after some form of massive leak from Russia. That's something else, though. But yeah. There's a lot of shit going on there. I mean, this kind of like the moon, like you said here earlier before. It's kind of like same issue as the moon.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I would love it if governments started to posting, their findings properly and letting people actually take part of the evidence that they have, instead of just saying this is the way it is. Because I have to be honest, a lot of what the West has done just doesn't seem to be true. I mean, we're talking about Syria the other day, and that whole conflict when we armed and basically bombed Syria. I mean, it sounds pretty clear now that they didn't gas the people, at least not in Duma. I mean, it makes people even here. I mean, who are we supposed to trust? I mean, you gotta probably start publishing evidence of things, so you can look at it.
Well, you want to talk about Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I mean, speaking of human rights, right?
Yeah, and this is actually good news. Or actually, this news has some bad news, some good news. Because Saudi Arabia was not elected to get a seat on the UN Human Rights Council, which is amazing because Saudi Arabia is not standing up for human rights. Neither, in my opinion, neither is Russia nor China who are getting seats, but at least Saudi Arabia isn't. I do not really know what the UNHCR has, what power that affiliate.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't really. I don't know. If someone knows, just post it. I guess. I mean, they can publish things and they can, say, "Oh, China did this and this and this," and if China is there, obviously, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
I mean, Saudi Arabia, who killed the Washington Post journalist. I mean, I don't even know what to start with this. I mean, but I mean, this is kind of one of the issues.
Russia hasn't done it, so.
No, I mean, Russia and Cuba, Cuba, I don't mind too much, to be honest. But China, Russia, I mean, and to be honest, to be fair, I guess. I mean, the fact that U.S. is there at all, that's pretty much a joke too.
Yeah, that's
right.
Also
like who? There are very few countries who I think has any right to talk about it.
Have Sweden ever killed a journalist? We killed our own prime minister, but yeah.
Well, no one knows, but possibly.
Okay,
at least he died. I don't know. I mean, Sweden does a lot of semi-shady things, but it's just too small of an actor to do anything. To be honest, yeah, Sweden says a lot of things, though. I mean, we're going to talk about it a little bit, but Sweden is just not an important player, right? I think it's you could say, the fundamental fact about the case. No one cares, really.
No.
And Sweden is also silent about a lot of things and is behind a lot of things. And it's a part of that Western alliance and peacekeeping and whatnot that we tend to call it. I'm not sure. I mean, it's actually a really tricky question. Who can talk about these things? Here's some potentially good news, depending on where you stand on the question of Nazis.
Yeah.
Leaders of Greek neo-Nazi Golden Dawns are jailed. The leader of Greece's neo-Nazi Golden Dawn has been jailed for 13 years for running a criminal organization, spelling the end of his violent militia that disguised itself for years as a political party.
Yeah, it's locked to get some in-depth reading of it, but the Golden Dawn, who got a lot of attention in 2014 during the first wave of right-wing parties in Europe. In Sweden, we had the first successful election of the Swedish Democrats during the same time, and there was a lot of talk of I believe there was a lot of talk that they were negotiating about some kind of pact, the Golden Dawn and Swedish Democrats, but that the Golden Dawn was too radical even for the Swedish Democrats.
Yeah.
And to me, that said a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like what they've done on the side is just run a criminal organization. So, they were just criminalized. I mean, I don't. To be honest, if we have someone who knows this, feel welcome to come in and talk about it. Actually, you never know.
But I know very little about it, but I know that I had a bad feeling about them from the start, and I was right.
Yes.
And you could not enter the Spiegel article, so I'm gonna just run that very fast without being unable to show any pictures. Russia allows a second vaccine. Sputnik 5 is followed by Epivacorona. The Russian authorities have approved another vaccine, and according to President Putin, a third is already being developed.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes you wonder why.
Currently, 14,000 people in Russia have received a positive corona test result within 1 day. This means that there have been more than 1.3 million infections in Russia since the beginning of the pandemic. More than 1 million people have considered recovered.
Sputnik worked so great. We are making a new one.
In mid-August, Russia released the world's first vaccine against the coronavirus for widespread use among the population. Internationally, scientists have raised serious concerns about Sputnik 5 because the serum was registered even through the crucial phase 3 study on efficiency and safety was lacking. In addition, there were falsifications allegations for the publications of the previous study data. So yeah, nobody really trusts this first vaccine, and they're already releasing a second, and they're working on a third. Why do you need a third if the second would be working?
It makes you, yeah, I like the fact that they already started working on the third. It makes you feel, I'll probably take the second one.
It was a failure, so it's being released to make some money, so we can do the third one better. I mean, like, wow.
Yeah. Well, seems like Germany could use some Russian vaccines. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no. I'm screwed. I scrolled on it, and this happened. Well, you're gonna have to read that one.
No, it's the same thing happened to me. But basically, there are 47 zones in Russia. That is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, I could whitelist. 1 second. Yeah. Oh crap! I can't translate because they wrote in the pictures. Everything is in German.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I get the. I already whitelisted you. Why you want me to pay? Come on. Okay, yeah. Screw that news.
Yeah, I got some weird news.
Yeah. You do?
In a far-right demonstration in Benimaclet, a working-class and inclusive neighborhood of Valencia has ended with the arrest of 3 anti-fascists, while the police ignored the application of the Valencian Democratic Memory Law in force since 2017, which forces them to identify and punish those who do apology of fascism, as did the ultras protester that they escorted. So the police decided to hunt down and arrest the anti-fascists who were, counter-demonstrating against the ultras in Spain. And, it seems like I don't want to read all of it, but it seems like it became a pretty big thing. I mean, Spain has pretty clear, it's not that long in memory since Franco was in power and killed a lot of people, right? But these, the new fascists decided to go to a multi-ethnic place, held a rally, and then the police decided to escort, arrest people who were, booing or who were not happy about them being there, right? And it also goes against what I can read from here, at least. If anyone has any other sources, please let me know. Quite a few of the Spanish laws about this. And this is kind of one thing that is starting to bother me a little bit. I mean, we're seeing that all over Europe, that you have this fascist organization that goes out with the only intent of provoking people.
Yep.
And the police then sides with them and arrests the people that are upset about it. And in this case, it seems like these anti-fascists, they didn't do anything. They were running away from them because they got chased by the fascists, right? And then the police arrested them and beat them. And I mean, I think this is like a fundamental, so they're in hospital. So I mean, I think this is a fundamental problem also with the police corps. And I mean, we know that all over the world, the police, I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of the people in the police, I mean, the culture that is brewing in a lot of places where you have police isn't really the best. And let's say that a lot of people who become police officers, maybe they are a little bit too much interested in power, and being able to, I mean, in Sweden, we have so many examples of this where the police are saying, like, well, you shouldn't really mind the law. It's about what's right or wrong, and I decide, and we have a lot of political parties who are kind of fine with that. Well, we support the police, more resources to the police, more everything to the police. Right? Let the police decide. And there's a problem here. you know, and it's a big problem, and it needs to be kind of skewed out. I mean, it's really dangerous when you start letting the police on site decide these things.
And I've heard the same thing from my friends that live in Spain due to the more liberal cannabis laws. The Guardia Nacional in Spain have their roots in Franco's fascist regime.
Yeah.
And I have the same feeling that the police in Spain is not the good kind of police.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of good police officers, but you got to, and this is the huge issue, you should not defend the police always. As little as you should always say that the police is wrong. But you need to be able to apply the law to the police. You cannot have a system as in the US where you can't do anything against them. You know, all the cases against them get dropped, and everyone constantly believes the story of the police. It's really bad because you give them the power to do whatever they want. And unfortunately, when you have two political parties, you know, or different sides of the aisle, and we have one saying, well, you know, you have one side saying, well, the police should get more power, and you show all of this criminality, and the only solution you have is more power of the police, and you know, the weakening of this, you are opening the door for fascist regimes, you know, and you cannot let that happen. And you're seeing so many signs of this already being the case throughout Europe, and it's really worrisome. Everyone is equal under the law, and there are several laws that prohibit the police from doing this. And these police officers need to be relieved of duty and put into jail. I mean, it's pretty much that simple. And I understand that a lot of people, you know, who are working in law and you know, as attorneys and as you know, whatever else is called, prosecutors, right? You don't really want to prosecute the police because the police is powerful, has a lot of unions. You're working with the police in a lot of cases. You'll get stamped as that sort of, you know, who put their friends in jail and whatever. But I mean, that's starting to sound like a mafia organization. That's not the foundations of democracy. You're uprooting them because you want to punish criminals. You know, and by doing so, you're turning the police into criminals, and the only one who gains from this is the far right. And yeah, so I thought it was worth to mention, right? We need to stop that all over Europe. It's like that in Sweden. You can't get an officer prosecuted. Yeah, and Sweden has huge issues with this that we do not talk about. That's not even the case. I mean, you can't even hear a single Swedish politician say anything about it, right? Which actually makes you worry quite a lot. Yeah, we already talked about that. I'm not sure why you want to be high on this rating, but for all of you who live in countries like Sweden where you think the tax is so high and companies can't be here, at least the 2020 International Tax Competitiveness Index places Sweden at 7, which is, you know, good, right? So our international tax competitiveness is considered very high. So maybe people should stop crying so much. Or they can move to Italy with 36. No, but yeah, so you can look at your country and kind of get some idea of at least what these people think is competitive in terms of taxes. Not sure why this is something that you should compete on. I guess it's like a map for big companies where they should put their company to get the most favorable tax. We'll leave you if you raise the tax, but yeah, let's compete for companies. Here's a good one. Check this out. Seems like Berlin has had enough of people not wearing masks and is resorting to a little bit more, how should we say, offensive imagery to get people to understand. I honestly think this is great. I think this is what people, I mean, we don't wear masks in Sweden because our government has said, or rather, the government has said only listen to the CDC, and the CDC has says that masks doesn't work. That's a fact. Masks doesn't help. This is true. That's fact. Anyone else is lying. But all around the rest of the world, we have another approach, and yeah, I honestly think this is how the government should communicate these days. So that's a good example of communication. Yeah. Before we so this is a good one. We're going to get into Turkey now. So Turkey is waging.
Turkey is a problem.
Yeah, they're waging war. I mean, literally, on many different fronts at the moment. Let's start with the one they're doing in Syria. Now, for anyone who've ever heard the Swedish Foreign Minister Ann Linde talk, I don't understand how the fuck anyone can understand what she's trying to say, because she can literally not speak English. And it's pretty weird to hear her talk, right? I'm not a fan, okay? But she urged Turkey to withdraw from northeastern Syria in a bid to prevent the YPG from fighting ISIL. So as you know, Turkey has attacked the Kurdish forces there, who is being supported generally by EU and US to fight the remnants of ISIL. Now, you may have a lot of different ideas about this, and we've talked about this before, and it closely connects to the current conflict in Armenia, or Armenia and Azerbaijan. But leaving that kind of aside, Turkey's response is, you urge Turkey to withdraw from Syria. In diplomacy, using the word urge is not a right approach, as it's a reflection of looking down on. Okay, weird. You may say call on, but not urge. Okay, let's talk about the issue here, not the words, right? Who gave you the power to urge or call on Turkey to withdraw from Syria? Did the regime in Syria give such authorization to Sweden or the EU? His reaction followed after Linde urged Turkey to withdraw from... Linde recalled that Sweden and Turkey were both parties to the international coalition against ISIL. PKK is a terror organization listed by the EU, but the SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, is not on the list, she stressed. But Turkey consider anyone who is Kurdish and fighting anything to be PKK, and then accuse Sweden of supporting the PKK. And this is like one of the fundamental issues here. But Turkey is waging a war on many fronts currently, and we'll move into the next one. What do you have to say about this, Otto? Cancellation time?
Yeah, cancel Turkey. I mean, we cannot be in a military alliance with a country that's actively waging war and starting new wars.
I agree. I mean, I don't know what Europe is going to do about it, because Turkey, for the only thing that, let's put it like this. EU decided that, hell, let's help US to bomb Syria. And to everyone's great surprise, that led to a lot of immigrants. And currently a lot of them are in Turkey. And Turkey sits kind of on the possibility to just let them all through or not, which everyone obviously is terrified for, because you don't want give that huge boon to all sorts of right-wing ideas. And I mean, obviously Russia has been there and bombed, and everyone has been there and bombed. What we have done is that we have armed parts of fundamentalist forces in order for them to help take over. So, I mean, we've been on pretty much every side in this war. And done a lot of shady things. And currently, a lot of these mercenaries that are down there are being hired by Turkey to fight in Armenia. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about, I don't know how Europe can shoot themselves more in the foot. And now we're in such a clutch moment and we can't agree on anything. I mean, it's just so pathetic. I don't know how you can fuck this much up. I mean, the Russia, I don't know. Like, you can just bow your hat. If this was their geopolitical idea, bombing Syria and make a lot of refugees and make Europe fuck up, I just be like, yes, you've done a good job. Yeah, it seems like they want to get the Ottoman Empire rolling again, or something like that. Yeah,
We do.
yeah, Sweden. At least Europe. We've done a good job in helping them do that. That's for sure. Thanks for follow, man. Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
And nice to jump over here. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge. I mean, it's a huge mess. It's a huge fucking mess. And general, I think Europe has a hard time controlling the narrative here, and that's for a pretty good reason. You know, I mean, they're trying, but it's really hard. We gotta take some responsibility for the actions that we've done, and it's pretty easy. As we talked about just the other day, some of the news here are that the attack in Dumas, that was one of the things that kicked it up again in 2018, seems to have been a false flag operation. So we accused the Syrian regime of using nerve gas or chemical gases on their own population, but it seems to be something that we did in order to be able to attack harder. And I mean, Trump has been painfully clear about what their objective is in Syria, which is to get the oil. I mean, that's what he said, literally. They're not leaving the oil. So Europe has been fighting a pointless war so that US can take Syria's oil. And in the meantime, we have armed the fundamentalist forces fundamentalist forces throughout there. We've said that these are democratic, yada, yada, yada. But it turns out quite a lot of them are fundamentalist forces, right? That are now fighting the Kurds, or the Kurds are fighting. And obviously now Turkey is attacking the poor Kurds again and calling all of them the same things. I mean, it's just a huge mess. And a lot of these mercenaries now that we armed are in Azerbaijan. I mean, we need to probably have a little bit of an honest dialogue about things and publish and release things. I think what Europe could do is actually release everything that we know about this and everything that we've done, and just, hey, dude, we fucked up. Okay, we fucked up big time. Not gonna lie, we fucked it up. But Turkey, it's over. This is it. Pro-Assad, I mean, I don't think anyone can be pro-Assad. I just think that for everything we've done down there, Assad is still in charge. It's a completely fucked up country. There are millions and millions of people displaced from their homes. We have armed the fundamentalists. We're letting Turkey kill people as pretty much as they please in another country, right? I mean, it's just a huge failure. No matter what you wanted to do, it's a huge failure. I mean, the only success is that US is getting oil. I guess that's success. But I mean, so the only thing that we can say is, yeah, we got the oil. So I think we could admit that the war in Syria was a huge failure. A big mistake.
I mean, have we had any successful wars? I mean, there's mostly a lot of people that's dying. I mean, the Cold War. Nobody died in the Cold War, right?
Quite a few.
Officially.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever we try to do. let's just say that whatever we said, we are gonna free Syria. Let's say that didn't happen. At least I think we can agree. And but I mean, it comes with a much greater cost as well. I mean, we have given Turkey the leverage to do whatever the fuck they want down there now, and they're using it. We have given the right-wing parties something that they can be righteously pissed off about. You know? We've given every single one of our possible, or, you know, quote-unquote enemies, or people that want to destabilize Europe, that doesn't want us to be any form of power player. I mean, I don't know how you can shoot yourself in the foot more than this. I have no idea. But let's move on with Turkey, because not only is he waging war in Syria, he's also there's also tension between Greece and Syria, yeah, I guess this is around Cyprus. Do you know more about this?
Do you mean the Cyprus conflict?
Yeah.
That depends on how far back you want to go. I mean, because there's two conflicts in that conflict, so to speak. Because Cyprus and a lot of those islands were part of what we spoke about before, the Ottoman Empire. So technically, if Turkey has expansion ideas, I believe that would be one of the areas they could expand. And also, that's the main entry point for the immigration wars that Turkey is having with the EU. Since the EU want to do Turkey's bidding, Turkey is rumoredly supplying and encouraging people to go by boat from Turkey to Greece. Which is one of the main entry ports into the European Union for immigrations from Syria and a lot of countries that Turkey is waging war in. So they're waging war to keep the stream of immigrants going, and then they're shipping the immigrants illegally to Greece. So this area is a bit problematic, so to speak. But that's what I know about it.
We should probably dig a bit deeper into this one, but let's just say that it seems like a conflict is rising here, and it seems to also be about oil and several things. I mean, I can guess that Europe kind of conceded some findings that could have been in Greece lands and stuff.
I don't believe it's oil, I believe it's gas, and Turkey has recently found some gas, so that they're not as dependent on other countries on that anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, there it says in August, Turkey.
Maybe we can find a map of this.
Turn to the Google. The Google.
Manfred Weber, European Parliament member, head of the European People's Party, okay, called on Turkey to comply with UN Security Council resolutions and return by Russia to its legal inhabitants under UN administration. In a videotape, Manfred Weber said that Cyprus has suffered from Turkey's provocations and attacks for a long time. The EPP group and the EP seriously concerned about Turkey's plans to open for Russia. So Turkey is basically saying, "Fuck you. We're gonna take this. There's oil there. Screw you. You want immigrants?
We'll give you immigrants.
We'll give you immigrants." All right. Turkish President Erdogan on Wednesday accused Greece and Cyprus of failing to fulfill promises made during negotiations within the European Union and NATO, and said the country would continue to give them the response they deserve. Erdogan's comments came days after Ankara redeployed its search vessel Wargames for a new energy exploration mission in disputed waters in the eastern Mediterranean, reigniting tensions with Greece and Cyprus over sea boundaries and exploitation rights. Turkish media reports it said 2 Navy frigates shadowing the search vessel. Those tensions had flared up over the summer, prompting a military buildup. Our Orok race has returned to its duty in the Mediterranean. Erdogan told legislator of his ruling party in a speech parliament, "We will continue to give the response they deserve on the field to Greece and the Greek Cypriot administration who have not kept their promises, blah, 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 blah." He did not spell out what the promises were. The Foreign Minister of Germany, which has been mediating between Athens and Ankara in a bid to ease tension, criticized Turkey on Tuesday for taking unilateral steps in the Mediterranean, which he said were undercutting efforts to de-escalate tensions. Ankara said Orok was redeployed following provocation acts by Athens, including a decision to hold military drills in the Aegean Sea. Let's check Varosha on Google Maps if we can get some understanding of this. Wow, okay. It's a ghost city south of Famagusta on Cyprus' eastern coast. Ghost city. It's been emptied, I guess, because of the risk of the tension. So I know too little about Cyprus, really. We should. I'm guessing that it's somehow split. Looks like it. Wow. Well. There's we'll have to learn a little bit more about this and do some research, because I think this is a possible real conflict issue. And I mean, the reality is the location of it makes Greece pretty. I don't know how they're going to be able to defend anything here if they want to. Jesus fuck, guys.
Yeah.
Right, where were we? Well, we'll be able to get back to that, I am sure.
Yeah.
Speaking about Turkey in a more, let's say, talked about event, a Syrian president says Turkey should be in the Nagorno-Karabakh talks. And yep, I mean, of course, Azerbaijan wants its sugar daddy in talks.
Yeah.
And I think at least from the research that we've done, it's pretty clear that they have been sending part of their mercenary forces to help. But you sent me a video, Nagorno-Karabakh conflict explained. I mean, we've actually had long things, but only in Swedish about this.
Yeah, I have a... There it is.
Yeah. You want us to watch this?
It's
this
3 minutes long.
Al Jazeera's take.
Yeah, and I thought this was a very, very neutral report of it, according to what I have found out about it as well.
Okay. I found it pretty hard to be neutral so far, but let's see this.
Yeah, I mean, that's because everything is Azerbaijan's fault. But this is neutral for as neutral it can be.
Nagorno.
Okay. Well, maybe not everything, but yeah.
Karabakh emerged alongside Azerbaijan and Armenia out of the messy breakup of the Soviet Union. Nagorno-Karabakh is an ethnically Armenian enclave within the territory of Azerbaijan, internationally recognized as Azerbaijani territory. But the people of Nagorno-Karabakh want to govern themselves, or they once voted to join with Armenia. A brutal war over this finally ended with a ceasefire in 1994 after the deaths of more than 30,000 troops. But in the intervening 30 years, little has been done to resolve the status of Nagorno-Karabakh, and there have been periodic military skirmishes between the two sides. But this one that has broken out is the most serious that there has been. And Azerbaijan has said that now is the time to resolve this conflict, that the ceasefire has done nothing for them, and now they want to regain control of the territory that is internationally recognized as theirs. Armenia says that the ethnic Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh should be allowed to determine their own destiny. What is different about this outbreak of fighting, apart from the fact that it's the most serious since that ceasefire in 1994, is Turkey's involvement and Turkey's overt support for Azerbaijan. In fact, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has said that Turkey's role supporting Azerbaijan is part of Turkey's quest for its deserved place in the world order. Turkish drones have been at the forefront of the Azeri military assault on territory within Azerbaijan. Both sides, Armenian and Azerbaijan, have been using also Russian-provided weaponry, and both sides have been launching long-range missiles at civilian territories on both sides of the line of contact, and civilians have been caught in the middle of the crossfire. There have also been allegations by Russia and France that mercenaries from the fighting in Syria have been sent to work with Azerbaijan by the Turks. Turkey denies this. Russia, the US and France are leading calls for a ceasefire, but President Erdogan says that these countries have neglected the situation for too long and they should not be involved in the peacemaking. Now, Russia has extensive diplomatic influence in this part of the world, the South Caucasus, including Azerbaijan and Armenia. Russia supplies weapons to both countries, but Russia has not taken sides in this conflict. It has only called for an international ceasefire and further negotiations. Now, in the wider region, Russia and Turkey are in a competition for influence. In Libya, they're on different sides of the fight. In Syria, they're on different sides of the fight. And now here, Turkey is backing Azerbaijan, and there is a risk that Russia could end up being drawn into the fight if it spreads beyond Nagorno-Karabakh to a direct conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Yeah. I mean, we were watching. I'm not sure if I still have it. I think I may. I mean, this one. I'm gonna watch a bit. The music video that Azerbaijan released the day before they attacked. I mean, just so you kind of know that this is
the same day.
The same day.
The same day.
Check this out.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Thank God the volume is not so loud this time.
Yeah.
Var yurdu doğma diyar qədim tarix məbədim sənsən Keşiyində sərkəy
His mustache.
I mean, I don't know how you can
I mean,
they attacked us. We have never been preparing for this. I mean, and you I don't know. I mean, it's so I still have found nothing that makes me believe that this is it anyway. I mean, this is just they're attacking their own territory and trying to kill people who live there. And this is and these people who live there have been defending themselves for a long time. And I guess that's quite annoying for the Azerbaijan because I mean these people who live there there's so much fewer have been able to do that. I mean, obviously supported by Armenia, but man.
Tim Parr 420 says it's not sounding so nice for the world right now. World War III is coming. I'm not so sure actually. On one hand, we have been fighting World War III since Afghanistan, basically. On the other hand, as long as France and Germany and England hold together, I don't believe that there is any force that could defeat all three of them and their allies. The European Union is expensive, but let's not forget that the European Union is the sole between France and Germany and a lot of other countries, but especially between them. And as long as we have peace between France and Germany, we will not have war in Europe unless the entire Union is being attacked, which is pretty unlikely.
I'm not sure. I mean, World
Not
War
even the
Three.
Chinese army would have anything to put up against if the European Union set out.
I mean, if you get China and Russia on one side, but I mean, to be honest, this conflict, the only thing it could potentially do, what I feel, I mean, the worst thing and the real issue here would be that Turkey feigns some false flag attack from Armenia, right? And Armenia gets attacked. And Russia gets pulled in, and NATO gets pulled in because we have to defend Turkey. I mean, the nightmare here, the real nightmare is that Turkey is in NATO.
Yeah, that is a huge problem.
We gotta cancel Turkey. Seriously. And that's, I mean, I really wish the European Union would be kind of clear here. And I mean, kind of in this case, our ally is Russia. You know, if anyone.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it, at least. And it's worrisome that Russia just is talking about ceasefire. I mean, that makes it sound weird to me. I mean, I've never seen Putin just say a ceasefire. If he cared about this, he would have been there right now. So that really makes me worry a bit. I mean, I don't think Turkey would do this in any way without the knowledge of Russia. I just don't think so. I think that it's been decided that this is what's going to happen. And I'm not sure why. And I'm not sure what Russia is gaining out of it, to be honest. But there is a lot of conflict between these two countries. But I don't think that Erdogan is that crazy, right? But I mean, this is pretty clear an attack on what has been kind of, at least in practice, a own state within Azerbaijan, where you're killing basically your own people.
Yeah.
If Turkey gets in war with Greece, then EU is in war too. Yeah, that's for sure. I don't think Turkey would do that. They are just doing these little proxy wars to help out their allies, right? And kind of gaining more control. But it's a dangerous road they're walking, and I don't see why they would, without some insurances from Russia, I don't understand why, in what sort of way they would do this, or if Russia has some greater kind of way here. They want to drag NATO into a war, another proxy war. I mean, maybe that's what they want. But I'm just like, this is just going to have to unfold. But yeah, I mean, this is really dangerous. We have so many open conflicts and wounds right now, and it's looking like they're just going to increase. It's super dangerous. It really is. I mean, and again, I mean, you put it like this. Europe used to be the place where the wars were fought. Right? I mean, Europe is perfect for fighting wars. A lot of small countries, and we used to fight each other so much, right? I mean, you look at World War I, World War II, right? This kind of Middle East has been the fighting ground for a long time now, and it's really sad. And these proxy wars continue. I mean, we've had them going on since 2001. We've had our proxy wars there. We're fighting it out, and Europe really needs to, in my opinion, needs to stand up and stand out. And we need to NATO is not what it used to be. We need something of our own here, seriously. And US is not to be trusted. That's just how it is. Like, it's really bad to be on their side in a lot of things.
The Swedish Democrats have had the idea to leave the European Union and start a Nordic Union, and I am not one for leaving the European Union, but I don't see why we couldn't have some kind of Nordic alliance.
Yeah, I mean, we're Europe needs to stand united if we're going to have anything to say. I think that's pretty clear. I mean, a Nordic alliance, we don't have anything. We don't have military. We have no weapons. The only countries that matter in Europe is Germany, France, and UK. Really. And Turkey.
Yeah.
Maybe Italy, maybe Spain, if you combine them and a couple of other ones, maybe. But it's just really tricky now. We were talking about this yesterday. About talking with if we're gonna make anything happen, no matter what it is, the only way we can put pressure on in any way is united. And if we're not united, we're gonna become like it used to be in many ways. But we're gonna become small states, puppet states. Either puppet states for the US, or puppet states for Russia, or puppet states for Turkey. I mean, that's what's going to happen. I'm sorry. Anyone who believes that the Swedish army is going to be able to protect us, or that Russia won't start influencing our elections and make sure that they push that sort of propaganda. I mean, there already are. Right? I just think it's incredibly stupid. Right now, we need to recognize the flaws of the European Union, and we need to push for our leaders to stop being so fucking corrupt and stand up and actually be able to use the European Union also to put wider pressure on things and to defend us. But we're not going to reinvent anything in the time that we have, because like we're saying, I mean, we are on the brink of World War III, right? I mean, it's not far away. If the virus escalates and if the economy gets even worse, if U.S. reelects Donald Trump, it's it's gonna be there's gonna be a lot of shady shit going on. Let's just put it like that. Superversive, thanks to Bislor's posts and words here, I see nothing that will change my mind from take the Armenian side in the conflict. Nordic alliance, we have it with the military. Yeah, we have something similar. But yeah,
I'm talking about a lot, a much bigger thing. I know that we have like a Nordic alliance and we would defend each other, especially since after the Second World War. But I'm talking more of a joint military group. For an example, a new military called the Viking Corporations or whatever, and put a huge page in the north of Sweden and Norway or whatever, and invite Finland, Denmark, and Iceland.
Yeah, I just don't think it has anything to say still, unfortunately.
Yes, it could have, because we don't necessarily need to train troops. We could also, for an example, train robot drivers.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the amount of money that we currently spend on our military and our economy and our possibilities of actually getting an army to work, we are hopelessly behind. I mean, maybe that could be a force to reckon with in 10 to 15 years. And I'm saying a force to reckon with, I mean, maybe not 7 days for Russia to take, but maybe, 3 months at a cost. But I just think it's not realistic when we are at this point. I mean, I kind of agree a little bit with Tim Parr here. We gotta realize the severity of the situation. And we definitely, I mean, I think from a European perspective, we really do need Biden to win. Regardless of that, we need to be able to have a clear, strong international say in things. And NATO is kind of compromised. And so is parts of EU too, in a way, right? We're going to get more news about that. I mean, we're really divided in EU, and we're clearly quite corrupt as well. Looking at this news, Bulgaria risks sanctions not only by the United States, but also by the European Commission due to hastily built natural gas pipeline Turk Stream 2. An inspection before blah, 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 blah. Bulgaria's ambassador in Minsk, Yuri Vasilev, handed a note to the Belarusian foreign minister. So the government is pouring European funds into the construction of Turk Stream 2. These are not funds under the project Technical Assistance for Completion of Preparation Works needed for the start of the construction of the gas interconnector Bulgaria-Serbia. Funds under the project. This most likely concerns the future interconnector with the Republic of Serbia, which EC insists on after the gas shortage crisis of 2009. Meanwhile, the interconnection's route suddenly coincided with that of Turk Stream, aka Balkan Stream, according to Bulgarian Gas. This is simply an extension of the gas transmission network of Bulgaria, which apparently accidentally overlapped with the route Turk Stream 2. Basically, this Turk Stream 2 is Gazprom, and they are using this to build kind of new ways of controlling the gas stream. And I think this is one of the things that we've talked about for a long time. This is one of the most important things that Europe needs to do now, and it's to get rid of Russian crude oil. 29.8% of Europe's crude oil comes from Russia. 40% of EU imports of natural gas comes from Russia. And 42.3% of EU's import of solid fuel comes from Russia. This opens up for an incredible amount of corruption. And we know that, let's just say that the oil industry isn't the most loyal industry and isn't the most caring industry. You know, you could say like this. Ironically, one of the best things we could do for peace and some form of independence in Europe is to be a little bit more environmental. Because this is seriously fucked up. I mean, that we're still in this situation, right? And you can imagine the sort of pressure that Russia can put on us. And the more we privatize and the more we allow private companies to make profit out of this, the more we open up for the possibility of corruption. And not only private companies, we need to be able to put our politicians, you know, we need to make sure that news aren't compromised, that politicians aren't compromised. We are in the preparation for a war. I mean, that's what's going on. And we are hopelessly underprepared. We're hopelessly easy to manipulate, and we have a hopeless military behind it. So, yeah, I mean, this is serious. This is one of the things, and this is something that has been talked about for so long. And we don't do. Love your music. Thanks, dude. Hi, though.
Man behöver inte tänka på vad som är
Superversive. Whoa.
Level 2, yeah.
Level 2. Nice, man. Thank you.
Yeah. And yeah, Raccoon is a musical genius. I'd call you a genius in a lot of ways, actually.
Have you?
I would.
Thank you. That's
that you
nice.
are, like I said, because you have this incredible ability to learn things.
Yeah, I like to learn things. I guess. Then I get tired of it and move on.
That was a Hodor answer, if I ever heard one.
That was what?
A Hodor answer.
Hold on.
You haven't seen Game of Thrones, I guess.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hodor.
Hold on. I wish I could say no, man. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been so disappointed by anything in my entire life. Anyhow.
Oh, I have. First KFC I ever had, man, that was a disappointment. Holy shit.
Where did you have it?
Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
At a place called Majestic City, I think. A huge shopping mall.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, man.
No, it was nothing like that. It just wasn't as good. It was still good, but I mean, the best thing they had was the ketchup.
Yeah, but that's true for all restaurants. No, but I think KFC, I mean, there's a lot of KFC in China. It's just fuck, man. Chicken is nasty these days. And the way that this chicken is made is just sick. I mean, it's filled with 30-day chickens, as they're called these days. I mean, specifically in those areas where they have little regulation on this. But I mean, we just talked about the Swedish chicken. It's horrible. I don't eat chicken anymore because it's fucking water, man. It's nasty. And if you were interested, check out how they make chicken nuggets.
Oh, I know. Pink slur is awesome.
Yeah, I just don't, Yeah, you can get good chicken if you buy from the farm, I guess. But thank you guys. I feel so loved here now. I'm happy again. Let's have a look at this one, by the way, if you're interested. We'll start here. France tells UK to stop playing games at Brexit talks reach crunch time. Let's just say another thing. This Brexit ordeal and the internal European shit, and the fucked up shit in US, particularly Trump, and his divisiveness, is one of the reasons why these type of incursions in Armenia can happen. You know that I'm not positive towards our collective Western foreign policy as we've had for the last 300 years. I think it's been pretty shit. And I think we deserve some... We probably have to recognize a lot of things. But this is not the time for this shit. UK, you gotta get your fucking act together. So does EU. Goddamn. Anyway, the most socialistic countries according to Americans. Sweden here on a strong 4th place. Let's see. China.
Are they socialistic? Okay. What?
Apparently, they're socialistic. Let's just say Americans' idea of what socialism is, or communism, or anything regarding to politics is a little bit, how to say, let's just say they've been brainwashed. So it's always fun to see. But China, well, if you by communist means capitalist dictatorship, I would agree. Venezuela, I mean, to be fair, they've run the Venezuela communist machine for a long time. And if you don't want US or Western companies to come in and take your oil, I guess that's communist. So, well, if you define communist that way, I guess Russia being communist or socialist, well, again, if a kind of oligarchy with capitalism as its driving force is your definition of socialists, dictatorship, again, yeah, sure. Sweden, then. I guess it's neoliberalism and neoliberalism and identity politics is socialism, then yes, and capitalism. Again, it kind of goes for all of Denmark, Norway, Finland. France here is still pretty high. The more taxes, the more socialistic. But I mean, come on. Sweden is the 7th best country in Europe. I mean, if anything, it should be like this then. If taxes is more social. Where did I put that picture? Here we go. So, according to this map, Estonia is the number 1 capitalist. Sweden is number 7. France would be one of the most socialistic countries. And Italy is, I think the worst here. Italy is so socialist. Look, you can even have the red color. They even have the red color. It's so socialist. I really think we need to send this map to them and make this by the socialistic nature of these countries. And maybe they'll start to get a better view. I mean, it's going to be horribly wrong still, but it may be a little bit more in line with the idea that who has the worst tax system. If you got capital, Sweden is great for you. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, Germany here at a strong 26% as well. Anyway, thought it was a little bit interesting. Let's move to a small controversy, you know, like one we can feel at home in, I guess. China insists Genghis Khan exhibit not use words Genghis Khan. Let's just say gonna make the exhibit a bit hard, huh? Museum in Nantes, this is a city in France, pulls show after intervention by Beijing, which comes as Communist Party hardens discrimination against ethnic Mongols. Our French museum has postponed an exhibit about the Mongol Emperor Genghis Khan, citing interference by the Chinese government, which accuses of trying to rewrite history. The museum's director Bertrand Goulet says, "We made the decision to stop the production in the name of the human, scientific and ethical values that we defend." It says the Chinese authorities demanded that certain words, including Genghis Khan, Empire, and Mongol, be taken out of the show. Subsequently, they asked for power or exhibition brochures, legends, and maps. The spat comes as the Chinese government has hardened its discrimination against ethnic Mongols, many of whom live in the northern province of Inner Mongolia. The exhibition was planned in collaboration with the Inner Mongolia Museum in Hot, China, but tensions arose, the Nantes Museum said, when the Chinese Bureau of Cultural Heritage pressured the museum of changes to the original plan, including... So, China has actually been pretty good at respecting the culture of its different minorities, but has really hardened their nationalist stance. I mean, like we've been talking about, I mean, it's nothing new. This, although I don't even see what they're supposed to gain from this. So they are making sure that this Inner Mongolia Museum cannot collaborate with the French Museum about an exhibition in France, which is about Genghis Khan. You have to be pretty goddamn up your own ass to have some ideas that this is going to threaten you. But, you know, let's just say dictators have a funny way of getting paranoid. Most of them take their power by cheating and killing other people. So, I mean, it comes easy to understand why they'd be a little bit afraid of anything that they may perceive as a threat. Because, hey, if I did it, why wouldn't they? But yeah, what do you say about this one?
Well, are we surprised?
Not really, I guess. I just... man, I find it so sad. It's just a little bit sad, to be honest. God damn it, man. It would have been so great if China walked another way right now. I mean, the combination of Trump and China and Europe being this divided is horrible for the world. At a time where we need leadership, you know, we need democracy, we need to care for our fucking planet. And let's just say the COVID-19 crisis doesn't seem, you know, you could have thought that, hey, that would make us unite and you know, think about bigger issues and bigger threats to us than, you know, nationalist spats. But that clearly hasn't been the case. The opposite has happened, which, you know, just gives you very little hope for how you're ever going to be able to resolve these type of conflicts in the current system, right? Let's just say I think a lot of people are starting to realize that this capitalist system has some weaknesses, apparently. Our current interpretation of it, anyway.
Yeah. Sorry for being a bit disarray at the moment.
Disarray?
Yeah, because Mob wrote something. I tried to lure Mob in here, but he is carrying a screaming baby at the moment. So,
all right, okay.
I told him to stay the fuck away.
Okay.
But he's talking about a scandal in Germany about a company named Finfisher who's sold surveilling equipment illegally to Turkey. And he didn't know if we spoke about it, so I tried to Google it, but everything I can find is that they have been a WikiLeaks article about the Finfisher. Who
Was that? Wait. Where was that company from?
Well, what was that?
Where was the company from? Did you say?
Germany.
I don't think we talked about that, but we talked about a Swedish company doing the exact same thing,
Okay.
providing China with surveillance technology.
Yeah, that we've spoken about. But this is the scandal is in Germany. I don't know very much about the company. I'm trying to Google, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck googling.
Finfisher, also known as FinSpy, is surveillance software whose marketing by Lench IT Solutions PLC, who is marketing spy software through lawmaking channels. Finfisher can be installed in secrecy on target computers. Okay, this seems nasty. Well, I didn't get any link from the mobster, so yeah, don't know anything more about it than that.
But it would be great to have him on any other time. Well, to be honest, we've had a lot of people who've had screaming kids in the background. It's kind of fun. Just push to talk. PTT.
Learn that. Speaking of you and your girlfriend.
PTT on PTV. This is how it works.
Yeah, exactly. And we also had a guy speaking that he was living in America.
Okay.
But he hasn't entered yet. And I have invited him to join the Discord.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, as you know, we're in an open Discord, and I mean, normally we send in Swedish, but if you come in here and want to talk about something, even our Swedish shows, don't be afraid, come in. And obviously, we have our opinions. Everyone have their own, and we want to have a discussion. I mean, I have there are always other ways to see things, and I mean, the important thing is to just, I mean, kind of the goal is to have discussions about things and maybe dig a little bit closer to the truth, because we are just never, it's all about getting closer to it, right? Let's get some Finnish fish. God damn it. Well, I mean, that's all the news I had for today, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not very uplifting. I mean,
No.
goddamn, since we started making news, it hasn't really been a whole lot of uplifting news. God, how is this even happening? This shit. But yes, I mean, in summary, we've taken quite a lot of steps closer to really nasty situations, and to be honest, like, a lot is going to be about the election in the US now. I'm not crazy about Biden, but I mean, it's going to get nasty too. I mean, I think until February, no matter what happens, you're going to have the US in complete disarray. At least until February.
Yeah. Well, and you should start preparing for warning for the Swedish Unemployment Office.
Yeah. It's time to start preparing for that. Well, it's been a great chat today. A lot of people talking, a lot of good things happening here.
A lot of not so good things happening around Turkey, but that's out of our control. We can only report about it.
Yep. And but the chat has been good. The people have been good. Thanks also for the follow, Timper 240 for 20. I want to call out some people from last day's stream. Wake up, Raccoon. I know you're there. Where are you, Raccoon? Come on. Jesus, he's dead. I'm sorry, guys. Raccoon died. Undying Love for the stream. Drotten97. Albar Kalir. Ricky 000, the world today is, and Mikael Blasiak, of course, for the like, and Kuku, and there's a lot of people following us, so it's really good. Thanks a lot for that, and remember that you can be in our Discord. We hang out here a lot, and you can post news in our news post. You know, if you have something you want to talk about or think we should talk about, don't be afraid to post it in our Nyhets tips down here. And for you English speaking, you can post anything you want in PTVEU, which we will talk about most likely on the next EU program, if it is somehow related. Is the YouTube archiving broken? Over the last few weeks, it's been very sporadic. I don't think so.
No. I think that we have had a lot of episodes being cancelled due to the mentioning of certain words. We have a pandemic going on that certainly, well, a lot of the names for this pandemic have been banned.
No,
So maybe we should make an experiment and try to play by YouTube's rules for a while, and yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, a couple of ones have been partially blocked. It's all copyright claims.
Okay, yeah. Copyright claim.
This is SVT. So SVT, our public service television, copyright claims to shit out of partiledardebatter and shit. So you I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna check. But yeah, whenever you watch SVT and you try to, you know, maybe, you know, you would think that the politics and Swedish politics and stuff like that would be public service. And you would think that SVT, the mission they have is to do public service, but that's not really true, apparently. So we pay them taxes, but we apparently are not allowed to use it. So whenever we have them, we get partially blocked. So we've had a lot of copyright claims lately. We can see what this is. Most of the time, Björnes Magasin, also SVT. So basically, it means that we don't get ad revenue, right, on any one of this. They just take all of it. And this one is completely blocked. Let's see why. I think this is. Let's see the details. Oh yeah, it's. This is again SVT. So SVT is blocking our videos because that's what public service does. That's what taxpayer does. You're not supposed to talk politics or anything. It's not like a debate is, you know, supposed to be. You're not really supposed to be able to comment that and put it up publicly. You're not supposed to make derivative material. You know. Like making derivative material, that's illegal, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, clearly, right?
Yeah.
I was actually about to turn this into a video and do some editing on this because I thought we had some good ideas to say about this, but I don't know what to do now because we can apparently not. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. The only one who copyright claiming us. I mean, here we have Warner Music as well, obviously.
Yeah, on the Gideon Gets.
BMG, Warner Music Group.
Yeah.
Let's see who else likes the copyright. But it's BMG again. Okay. But yeah, it's fucking shit. I don't know how we're gonna be able to make political commentary in Sweden when we can't create derivative work of our public. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so if you want to help us continue doing these videos, then look in the chat right now.
I mean, this is completely blocked.
No, Kingland did not fix that command, so I can't write donate and get a list. But we have a donation button and a Patreon.
Yeah.
Or a merch button. You can buy some merch.
But it's fucking crazy, man. I mean, we need to make a story about this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking shit. I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is SVT, right? That's my fucking tax. That's our tax money. I mean, there's something completely wrong. I mean, I don't even know how. It's beyond wrong, and that's a debate. That's a debate. Isn't that public service? I mean, I don't know how you can get anything more public service than a debate. That's something you should be able to share and talk about and discuss. It's a fucking democracy.
I would completely understand if they, for an example, posted the raw camera footage somewhere and then copyright claimed the edited one. But to just copyright the only material that there's nobody else, there's no other way to get a debate than watching the SVT debate, and that we cannot comment. I mean, seriously.
I mean, it's here. I mean, I can download it.
I'm guessing they are auto filtered.
Yeah.
So you should be able to dispute the claims and maybe get them reinstated.
Yeah. I think tomorrow we'll make an episode where I call this SVT. I'm going to call them in the morning and start talking with them about this. I mean, what their thinking is about this, or how I can actually use and comment on it in any form of legal way.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to call a lot of people tomorrow. Fucking hell. This is insane. It's completely crazy. Those are the only one who block the content too. I don't know. Okay, guys, we gotta go. But god damn it, now I'm angry.
Yeah. Public service, what a joke. Yeah, you're right.
Well, we're gonna talk about another beautiful public service in Sweden in just about a couple of minutes. So for those of you who want to stay and get to hear about corruption within the Swedish system, don't be afraid. We've got you guys, and we'll be back in about, I would guess, 20 minutes or so maximum.
Yeah.
Until then, and tomorrow, obviously, we will probably be talking about this. Hopefully. In our torsdags nyhets. I think it's going to be a normal nyhetssnack. That's as far as I know. So it'll be more news. It'll be in Swedish. We'll be talking about a lot of crazy stuff, probably. And yeah, Friday's Corona update, as usual. You know it. 1900 CECT. Central European Summertime. 1900. Every weekday.
Yep.
Until then. Puss puss.
See ya.
PTV, oberoende, piratistisk media, skapad och finansierad av tittarna.
Kuken ute. Nej, stoppa in den igen, Miss Midget, är du snäll.
bryta det ekonomiska fåtalsväldet.
Jag tror att om man ska företräda hela det svenska samhället, då är det viktigt att man i första hand ställer sig på de sämre ställda gruppernas sida. Det är de som i första hand behöver samhällets stöd. Det är de som är i första hand intresserade av samhällets förändring. Och jag tror att solidaritetskänslan i det svenska samhället är och kommer att bli så stark att det går att få alla samhällsgruppers stöd.